Welcome back to the Kayak Bass Connection podcast. We're the official podcast of the Southern Illinois Kayak Club and their bass tournament trail. So I am your host, Jared, back for episode 56. Man, that's crazy. I am also joined by my co-host, Jeff Shearer. So welcome back, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Jared. Good to, spend a little time on the water with you this weekend.
Yeah, it was great to see you on the water. So tonight we're going to go over event number 4 of the Southern Illinois Kayak Club Tournament Trail. It was just held July 18th at Sangchris Lake in kind of central part of Illinois outside of Springfield. Shocker, everybody. Hope you all guys are all sitting down, but Dalton Williams won.
Welcome to the show, Dalton.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah,
hey, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, you've been on here before? Okay. It's like every show.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think a month.
Yeah, since the last tournament. So Dalton is out of Valier, Illinois, right? Big metropolis that it is. So what else you got to do in Valier but learn how to fish, right?
Yeah, it's fish a lot of farm ponds around here.
Yeah, well, it pays off because Dalton finished this event with a 93-inch total, 93 inches, which is awesome, especially for the conditions that everybody faced, which we'll discuss here in a bit. And we want to acknowledge that in second place, Jay Riedler from Arnold, Missouri had 91.25, including one of the big bass of the event, the biggest bass that was scored, 20.50 of 20.5-inch bass. So that I noticed on Tourney X, that's listed as his personal best. So congratulations, Jay. Unfortunately, he had something come up at the last moment with some family members of his. We wish them the best of luck. Wish Jay could make it. I'm sure he'll be back soon on the podcast. So in third place, we had Walt McCree, who's also been here before, hailing out of Rochester, Illinois, with 91 inches. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back. I was only hoping to get one, so getting multiples is awesome.
Yes, that's great. So this was a pretty cool tournament. 37 anglers fished this one. Only 124 fish were actually submitted to Tourney X, which I thought was real interesting because that's half the number of fish that were submitted at the last tournament at Coffeen Lake. So we had a few more anglers at Coffeen, but we had a lot less fish per angler. Only of those 37 anglers, only 11 caught a 5-fish limit. Sad to say, I was not one of those.
Same.
Jeff, I don't think you were either, were you?
Nope. Stuck at 4, man. Last 2.5 hours, I was on the scramble, but couldn't, just nothing. So
it's tough.
Kind of day.
Yeah. I'm anxious to hear some of what these guys did to earn a check. So the situation we all found ourselves in that Saturday morning, I was fishing 96 to 99 degree water. How warm was it where you guys were fishing at?
It was about 92, 93 where I was at.
Mine was I was going between 88 to 89.
Okay, so a lot cooler. Guys, what mindset did you have coming into this tournament as far as what were you looking for to say this is where I want to spend the day?
I couldn't make that paddle up north like some of these other guys can with motors. I guess I could, but I feel like I would have spent more time traveling than I would be fishing. So I just kind of had a mindset of just fishing south and stay south. Try to get the lure as long as I can in the water.
Smart play.
Yeah, and mine was, I actually got to hit the lake pretty hard for the last 2 or 3 weeks since it's 15 minutes from my house. And really the only place I was finding quality fish was deep. So just found couple key points over the last few weeks that held the fish I needed, and that's pretty much what I focused on. I only took 2 rods with me for the tournament, and they both had the same lure on it with a different color.
So you expected that offshore deep bite?
Yep. I told Susie that she asked if I had a plan. I said, well, it's going to be feast or famine, but yes, I have a plan because I only have 2 rods and it's the same lure. So
what do you think about that way of approaching tournaments? If you have a plan and you just like do or die with that. Is that successful most of the time?
No, but I wish I would have brought a heavier rod for a jig because I had 91 inches at 9 o'clock and I needed to get rid of a 16 3/4 and a 17, and I thought I could definitely do it. But then, every fish I caught was between 14 and 16 inches. And I thought if I could drag around a football head jig in that spot and slow down a little bit, I might have been able to get that done. But obviously it worked out well, but I think had I to do it again, I would have brought a heavy rod with me too.
So did either one of you start to think that other anglers were kind of using the same pattern?
Well, I know they were because I thought I was onto some secret, and I was texting one guy and he's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to throw this lure. I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Then I talked to Jonathan, and Jonathan's like, yep, I'm catching all my big fish on this lure. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing too. There's no secrets. So yeah, I think several people found the same pattern.
What about you, Dalton? Were you in a crowded area? People are fishing the same place?
Honestly, no. I would say there was probably 6 or 7 of us was going south from the ramp, but by I think 11:30, 12, I didn't see anybody south of the boat ramp anymore. I was the only one south, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's hard to tell. Like I said, like I don't want to make that trip all the way north. It was gonna be like a live or die state if I was gonna go one way or the other. And like I said last podcast, I was either gonna shoot and miss or shoot and hit, and thankfully I shot and hit this time. So
it was a long pedal up there to the north, man. I made it all the way to the point, and not nearly as fast as I thought I was going to. So you definitely made the right call. It was an exercise, especially coming back at 2:00 in the afternoon into the wind.
Yeah, that's a long haul up north in that arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that does introduce a question. Is like, how do you evaluate? You're in a kayak versus a boat. So, boat, it's just talent. It's just time, right? So in that lake, you could have 25 horsepower or idle a big engine, right? So when you look at a lake, do you say, you know what, this is where we're going to launch at? I'm, going to look at 1.5 miles or 2 miles circumference from there. Does that come into your planning?
I would never know. I'll fish at the ramp. So
yeah, sometimes you do, yeah. And when? Yeah.
But honestly, I would have to say I did not fish at the ramp. Well, I did fish at the ramp for a good 30 minutes, and that was the worst decision that I made on that tournament, was to fish that ramp. That ramp was dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
yeah, there's a few tournaments that go out of there, but it's definitely not what you would consider your typical release bank area.
Yeah.
And I think I was mentioning earlier, yeah, 2 hours that we sat in there, I didn't see a single bass bust, from the time I got there till the time we launched. So it just kind of reaffirmed my thought that there's not going to be enough fish shallow for me to mess with it.
So it seems like everyone is on sort of a deep bite with kayaks. That I think boat positioning is everything. So how do you guys handle that? I mean, how do you handle maintaining your boat position with a kayak, especially if there's a bit of a wind blowing that day? Because Dalton, you're in a pedal drive kayak, right?
yes.
Without a motor.
Without a motor. One of the 19s I caught, I was just going on one of the main points, and I just cast it on the main point as I was working up to it, and I caught that 19 on one of the main points. Then I caught like a couple shorts on it. I think I like 3 fish on that point. Then I left that point, went to another point, and there was a log on this point. Like it was up shallow. I was like probably on like 2 or 3 feet, if that. And I was just casting on the, like as far as I can, off the bank to the deeper water. And on that one point, I caught 30 fish on just that one point. And I probably lost another 10 to 15 fish on it. And I just tied up right on that log. Backwards. Yeah, so I just tied on right on that log, and I just stayed on that log basically, I don't know how long, probably 2 hours. There was times that I caught 15, 20 fish on just every cast. I was getting a bite every cast. Then I left because the fish kind of got smaller size. So I left. I found another, I think an 18. Yeah, I found an 18 that I came back. And by that time it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I'm just going to stay here because I know there's fish here. So I just stayed there all day, or the rest of the day technically. So
yeah, I spot locked 1 point for 8.5 hours. I didn't move all day. And I had my 91 inches at 9 o'clock. And then I probably caught 15 to 20 fish between 14 and 16 inches. So there'd be lulls where, you go 40 minutes without a single bite, and then you'd catch like 10 in a row, 5 in a row, just groups. And then it would lull again, and then it would pick back up. But I was afraid if I left that spot, I was afraid somebody else would be on all the other decent points that are on the lake. And so I wasn't going to risk moving.
Do y'all think they were, chasing bait fish?
Yeah. So everything I've been told, all these boat guys that are bringing in, I mean, some guy caught a 30-pound bag a few weeks ago, and what they say, it's more about the fish roam. These fish roam more than they necessarily set up in areas. So, I'd look for shad and just cast towards the shad balls and go from there. So, but I was so locked into that point, I gave my somebody else was struggling, I gave them some lures that I was using. And while I was giving him lures, my trolling motor wrapped up 100 yards of my line because I had left my lure out there. And I could hear it sucked the lure all the way up into the trolling motor, and I could hear it hitting. But I was like, I am not lifting up this trolling motor and drifting off this spot to get it off, because I don't want anybody to take my spot. So I just let it clank for about 2 hours. And then when I was ready to come back, I just cut it off and made my way back.
I didn't really have to worry about people pushing in my spot. Like I said, like after 11:30, 12, there was no one south of the ramp. So I literally had the entire south end of the lake to myself.
Yeah. And with
I
80,
don't know if you guys have ever
I can pretty much guess where you were at.
I don't know if you guys have ever listened to any interviews with Drew Gregory, who's national. I think he was BASS national champion with the kayak series. But he's won several of those events. But that kind of almost sounds like one of the strategies he would employ. He's going where there's nobody. So it pays to know your body of water. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this offshore bite, I mean, if you look at, I don't know if you got a chance to read the article that tournament director Jonathan Kessler put out on the website like the day after the tournament, but he's talked about how the club has evolved to the point where it used to be, you didn't see very many people at all fishing offshore, but now people aren't afraid to do that. I mean, you have a lot of folks with live scope, you have a lot of folks who are just good at finding those offshore fish. So did either one of you have any kind of eureka moment where it finally started to click how to find those offshore hotspots? Not just necessarily in this tournament, just in your experience using kayaks.
Yeah. I mean, I've been fishing offshore for probably 10, 15 years. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I was doing it long before sonar. So I don't really use the forward facing to find them. I pretty much just use the chart for features that I'm looking for, and then I'll just go and start hitting those. So on Friday, somebody else had never fished offshore. So I said, we basically started at the east ramp and we hit every point going down almost to the west ramp, crossed the lake, fished all the points coming back up to find stuff that we liked. And that's pretty much how I do it. But it has changed both, kayak and boat world, where you didn't have a lot of people offshore. You used to be able to fish a buzzbait in the morning, try to get one or two, lucky kickers, so to speak, because you knew no one was going to touch your offshore stuff. And then you could go, and then you'd have 3 or 4 points that you could go and kind of rotate around throughout the day. But it's getting harder now. It's, I was out there probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there was a boat tournament, and I looked up the lake and I looked down the lake, and every point sitting out in the middle of the lake was a boat, so I was like, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be able to get it done today. So,
yeah. Well, and that's a good point, because when I first joined the club, there were 3 or 4 people that always were in the top 5, right? And with the exception of Dalton, in the last couple of years, we've had a lot of new people come on the podcast after winning first, second, or third, right? Or a big fish or something like that. So definitely, I don't think there's, again, with the exception of Dalton, there's not the dominance that there once was. I think there's more people on any given tournament day that can win. And I don't know why that is, but it's just people are just learning slowly and getting better all the time. Do you feel that pressure, Dalton?
I don't know. Like during the tournament, trying to think, Danny Tuhey, I told exactly what I was throwing and all that, and I don't think he got a limit. He had to leave early for that tournament. But I told another guy, this was his first tournament in SIK, I told him green pumpkin jig. That's what I was throwing. He's like, man, I just broke that off. I'm like, here, I have an extra jig I can give you. So I gave him the jig, and I think he told me like 5 minutes after I gave him that jig, he got like a 19.5.
Nice. And that was his first tournament. That's cool.
Yep. And I'm like, and I was happy that he got a 19.5 with it, but
Good camaraderie.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's,
I'm not.
That's why we love to see you win.
Like, I'm not afraid to tell people my secrets. It's the club. I know the boat world, everyone's secret about it, but in SIK, everyone talks to each other, everyone tells secrets and all that. We have nothing really to hide.
Yeah. Well, both you and Walt just told stories about how you help other anglers catch and locate fish, that you're going to be competing with him on a tournament. So that says a lot about the culture, I guess.
Yeah, good on y'all for helping out new guys and everything, getting them on some good bites.
Yeah.
Heck, I think if Jeremy had never fished more than 6 feet offshore, he said. So we took him out Friday, and I pretty much showed him exactly what I look for and exactly what I do. And heck, I think if he would have landed some of the fish that he caught, I may not be sitting here right now. So he got into some good fish.
Yeah,
And kudos to him.
say,
He on the point himself that he ended up fishing. I had skipped over it. He found it himself and did it. So that's kudos to him.
I do gotta say that was probably my first tournament I've ever fished on a main point. I've never fished like a main point like thoroughly, but that tournament I did. It was definitely different for me.
Well, I can see why.
I've always been a power fisher, like up shallow, but yeah, this tournament
not
was
many
definitely
points.
different for me.
Did either of you both of you get all your fish offshore? Did y'all have any bite up shallow or try it any during the day, especially the early morning?
No, I went straight to my spot first thing in the morning and spot locked for 8.5 hours in about 15 foot of water. So yeah, I never tried anything else. I stayed right there.
I would say 2 of my keepers were
Good
shallow,
Decision.
but the other 3 were deep. Maybe it was 3 shallow and 2 deep. I don't remember. I caught so many fish on that point. I can't remember what I kept or not kept.
When you say shallow, are you saying like 1 or 2 feet or like 5 or 6 feet?
I caught one that was probably in 3 feet. Then the other one was in like brush, like it was in an overhang trees, but
Okay.
it was like right on a drop off. And I just threw it in there. I'm like, might as well. And I didn't think I was gonna get hit, and it turned out to be like a 17 3/4, if I remember right. I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe I'm on something. Yeah, no, that wasn't the case. It was just one of those shot in the dark type ordeals.
Yeah, one of those things where you regret not throwing at it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
It looks like the one ought to be there, so you might as
Yeah.
well make the cast.
So Jared and Jeff, did you guys fish shallow or did you fish offshore as well?
I did both.
Yeah, I tried both too.
Yeah. The only place I was consistently catching fish was I think I caught 4. Only 2 of them were measurable off of right off the dam. I mean, and I literally wore the powder coat off of a shaky head just by dragging it. And the 2 that I caught that I was able to measure, the craziest thing is that they wanted those things absolutely just laying there. Both of them that I caught was when I had the shaky head out and laid down my rod to do something in the kayak, and I went to pick my rod up and I had a bass on it. It's not like I was skillfully bouncing it on the rocks or anything. It was just they waited till it stopped moving and they grabbed it.
Yeah.
Did you try doing that like throughout the day, or was that just the 2 times you did it?
Just I did it throughout the day, but I tried crankbaits first. I think I got a small like 12-inch on a crankbait, but I didn't really get any consistent bites in any one place until I slowed down and used the plastics. Because I was hoping, I mean, I like to throw crankbaits. I was hoping I could get on a crankbait bite, but I was apparently not doing something that they wanted. So
Same.
I didn't get anything on a crankbait either.
Caught one, but it was like a dink, not even 10 inches on like I think a DT6, trying to run it, right there along shade lines, right around, 6 to 8 feet where it clipped the top of the grass out that way. But everything I caught was with a, finesse jig and a crawl, like my bread and butter. I know, like y'all mentioned, I found a point, that came into a little cove, like behind, a little bit south of me, and again, facing out toward the main lake like everybody else. And I caught 4 or 5 fish in 15 minutes, but I think only one of them was over 12 inches. So, I mean, obviously that pattern was there on that point as well, but not the quality fish, or I wasn't out deep enough, So, and I came back to it later and caught another one. I guess patience would have paid off like it did for y'all, maybe, kind of instead of trying to make it all the way to the north end or something, looking for, I don't know, better fish that could have been there the whole time. Just didn't find them the right way.
yeah, a little over a year ago, I guess it was, we had a podcast where we interviewed the state biologist, the fisheries biologist that was responsible for that. He kind of predicted exactly what the kind of results that we saw. There's definitely some good fish there.
Yeah, I had a nice one break me off right around 12, right after noon or so. I'd passed Josh, or he passed me. We were both sitting on 3 fish, and he's shopping for his 4th, and I thought I saw him on down in the a little farther south, and I went to this point, and the wind was blowing right there on it, and heard a blow up. And when I was turned, I was like, "Is that carp again?" I just swore I saw a carp here this morning. And I heard it again and saw it, and I was like, "That wasn't a carp." Like, I saw it go under. I had the jig in my hand. It was like 10 feet away from me, and I just tossed it right there where the ripples still were, and it smoked it immediately. And it was probably at least 19. I got a good look at it, but he dove under the kayak, and I was trying to bustle him up and snap me off. And surprised people at the East Ramp didn't hear the words I had to say when I lost that one, but that's how it goes out there. I mean, sometimes I did get best fish of the day after that, like 14 inches or something. So
yeah, I got snapped off twice on that main point.
they were out there, just didn't want to do what
Dalton, what kind of line did you break? Were you doing fluoro or what?
I was fluoro 20 pound.
Man, he broke that off.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, the first one broke me off right kind of next to the knot, so I don't know if the teeth of the bass, because I think that was my 20th fish I caught on that jig, and it broke me off right next to the like where the jig was. So I think the teeth was rubbing on it. Then the second one that broke off, that's the one I caught in a tree, and I guess I didn't check like halfway up the line, and next cast I had one pick it up and I set the hook and it broke me like halfway up the line. So I bet you that tree did a number on it. So always check your line.
Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. A couple random questions I want to throw at you guys. So you both have been fishing the SIK tournament trail for a couple years now. So what's your favorite lake that's on the tournament trail schedule?
I would say Banner, because there's so many like different things at Banner. Like if you want to go fish shallow, you can. If you want to fish deep, you can. If you want to throw a frog, you can. Reeds fishing, you can. Or and there's like several different lakes you can fish. I think it's one of like the best fisheries that I like fishing in our tournament trail. But it's I don't know how often we do it because of how many like people don't want to go up there because how far it is. But I always like taking that drive. I mean, I think it's 4 hours, but it's a fishing trip at that point. Yeah.
We lost Walt. Maybe he'll pop back in there. What about you, Jeff? What's your favorite lake on the schedule?
I was going to say Dalton only staying Banner Marsh because he broke my heart there.
Second
day.
Sorry.
But no, I'm just giving you crap, man. No, I enjoy Banner Marsh too, but honestly, I really like Pyramid last year just because.
Oh my gosh!
Just because you got an opportunity to fish different lakes, and there's good fish out there, and if a lake isn't working for you, you can swap to somewhere else. But
it's intriguing. Pyramid's intriguing.
Like
you look at,
yeah.
Sangchris, yeah.
You look at all the different water there, and the biology reports on some of them. They should be great. I know the one tournament we had there it wasn't great.
Yeah, for sure. I think I wonder how much the time of the year had to do with it too, because I know out at Sangchris, Saturday, I felt like my face was melting off at one point in the day. And, you mentioned the water temps, and it's like, good Lord, man. Like, I usually don't wear a bucket hat, but I had to bust it out on Saturday. Like anything.
Yeah, I got my big straw hat out because I knew it was going to be that type of day. But then when the wind picked up in the afternoon, about yanked my head off. But
yeah, that little bit of wind was nice for sure. Yeah. What about you, Jared? Where's your honey hole on the schedule?
I hate to be a copycat, but I like Banner Marsh. I mean, I just like that environment. I like how shallow you can fish there. Some of those stump fields and stuff are fun to fish.
I think there's so many like different like structures and all that. It's just like you can if you want to fish one thing one day, you can. If you want to fish the other thing like halfway through the day, you can.
There he is.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
And I'm really excited. I'm really interested in getting back to Banner because I just got an inflatable pedal drive. So I want to hit some of those hard to get ponds they have there that haven't been fished that much. This thing's lightweight. I can put it on a cart and take it anywhere. Well, glad to have you back, man.
Thank you.
We lost you. So we were talking about our favorite lakes on the schedule. So either the past 3 tournaments you fished or looking forward to future tournaments. Is there any one particular lake that you're like, man, I can't wait till that happens?
Yeah, I think, they're all new to me except for Sangchris as far as what we fished. Caffeine has been one of my favorites so far. But what's our next one? Crab?
No.
Next one is
Cedar Lake.
Cedar Lake.
Yeah, everybody talks about Cedar. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Cedar.
Yeah.
Cedar can be.
We'll see.
Cedar can be real fun, or Cedar can be really brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had both of those days.
Right.
It's a beautiful lake. I'll give that. I mean,
that's what I've heard. I didn't Cedar last year, but I'm going to try and make this one.
It's worth a trip down there.
So does it look a lot like Kincaid? Because I thought Kincaid looked awesome too.
I would
It's a lot
say that's
clearer.
probably the closest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as scenery, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful bluffs, stone bluffs and stuff down there too. A lot of big rocks.
hmm
It's kind of a really different environment. What angler? Name one angler who has recently really impressed you. One angler that is in the club that has really impressed you, and how much maybe they've improved, or maybe a call that they made, or something of that nature. And I know, Walt, this is only like the third time around, but I know you fished a lot with some of the guys in the club, so you know a lot of the guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I would have to say Kevin. I mean, obviously he's a very good angler, but willing to share. Just down to earth. You can just have really good natural conversation, I guess.
Yes.
So yeah, Kevin's really impressed me.
Yeah.
Dalton, how about you?
And
I
you
would
can't
say
say
Josh.
yourself.
No.
I would say Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's starting to be in the top 5 consistently. Because he got
Sorry.
second at Kincaid, second at Caffeine,
Yeah.
if I remember right. I'm impressed with Josh. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had to think about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Josh.
Good choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
both Kevin Cox and Joshua Lincoln. That's two role models. Anybody would be good to follow on or off the water. Either one. Good
All right,
guys.
Jeff Jared. What about you?
Who's impressed me lately?
Will's put up a pretty strong season too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Been pretty
the
consistent.
name I was going to throw out there. Will. I mean, he has been a consistent presence on the tournament trail, at least since I've been involved, and has been a presence, just maybe not in the top 5 or so, but man, recently,
Yeah.
he's been on it, and I'm just so glad to see a good guy doing well and been able to put things together. So congratulations. That's a big accomplishment. All right,
I like
guys.
these
So
questions.
is there one thing? What's that?
I like these questions.
Is there anything specifically you're looking forward to in the remainder of the season? I know that Angler of the Year thing is you've got 2 of those trophies, right?
Yes, sir.
At least 2. Got room for a third one?
I hope I do.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for anybody to unseat you. We'll see.
Yeah, I was already thinking of that at the beginning of the season. But I mean, we have to see.
Well,
at
you
the
know
end
what
of the season. So
yeah, and the thing is, man, there are so many different things to fight for right now. If you look at the end of year status of where people are at, you've got a lot of people that are vying for like Rookie of the Year. You got the consistency award, which is the only thing I've ever gotten. So I'm very happy about my little trophy for Mr. Consistency.
I think there's
a couple years ago.
consistency.
But
What was it? The gun longest total length. That was last year, and the gun show. What people have left to
so
fish
as
for.
we look, what's that?
I said people left that's like fish for. Whatever's left.
So as we head to the end of the season, we've got the Angler of the Year is going to be tight for anybody to unseat Dalton, but there's a lot of things, a lot of titles, a lot of honors that to still chase. Speaking of that AOI chase, just taking a look at the latest stats that were released after the tournament in Sangchris, Dalton's currently number 1. And number 2 was a gentleman I mentioned, Will Abbott, having a great year, not a whole lot of points back. And then Josh Lincoln at 3, at the 3rd spot. So, and then right behind him is Darren Himker, then Kevin Cox, and it just keeps on going. A lot of great fishermen listed on this top 10 of Angler Year standings for Southern Illinois Kayak Club. So there's still a lot of fishing to be done. But there's some other stuff, right, to concentrate on for the remainder of the tournaments. Not only do you have your Angler of the Year award that's available, Rookie of the Year is also going to be awarded. The Rookie of the Year is always recognized at the end of the year. And then what probably is one of the highest honors, I think, is the Pineapple Man of the Year. They started doing this a couple of years ago. This award's good sportsmanship. And man, there's a lot of people that should be contingent for that. So, and then there's the Big Bass Awards every event, and the people get trophies for those big bass, not only checked. A lot of new challenges, man. Am I missing any other challenges that are going to be settled in the last couple of events, guys?
I mean, there might be like small ones, but I can't name them on the top of my head.
Yeah, we have a team series that we're looking at doing.
Oh, yeah.
I did a podcast about that here a couple of weeks ago. Registration opens here in about well, it's August 1st, so it'll be open probably a few days after this gets released. So there's a limit of 6 teams. That's 3-man teams with one being an alternate. So it actually is a 4-man team. But that is definitely something that we have yet to look forward to. And if you want any more information about that, look at episode 55 because we discussed in detail of that fall series with the tournament director. So I'd still like to see us put together a team. If anybody out there is interested in fishing on a Kayak Bass Connection team, let me know. We will have a good time, guaranteed. But so anything, we need to wrap things up here. So you guys have anything else you're looking forward to, or you want to get out viewership?
No, I'm just looking for a strong end of the season. I mean, it's been a blast so far, so I'm just looking to keep it going.
Keep it up, Walt. You're having a good year, man.
Thank you.
Yep. It's awesome.
Dalton, you're doing okay.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
dominant.
trying my best.
Pretty dominant. Well, one of the great things, Dalton, is I never see it affect you. I know it probably does, but it doesn't seem like it jars you much. You just casually walk up and collect your checks every event. So you're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's weird when they start calling names out. And I know that I should be high in the standings, and they start calling out, and everyone's cheering. Then as soon as they call me, it's just dead silent. It's like, okay.
You're the villain, man. You're the Kyle Busch. I mean, rest in peace, Kyle Busch. But you're the Kyle Busch of our kayak league, man. You're the villain.
Yeah,
but you play it so well, dude.
At Sangchris, Will went up, everyone was cheering. Then I was called up, dead silence. I don't know who got called up next. They were cheering. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we can hear. Oh, thank you. I'm pretty sure you can hear a fish bust in the water when I was walking up. It was that quiet. Except Will clapping.
It's funny because I never know who's going to be called. I don't look at Tourney X throughout the entire tournament. I never look at anything. So it's always a surprise to me who's going to get called up.
Yeah, I like that too. I've started doing the same thing. I just make sure my fish get uploaded. And what will be, right? So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot for you guys taking your time off in the middle of the week here to get this recorded only 2 days after the tournament. So much appreciated. And it's good seeing all of you in person during the tournament. I hope to see you down and see your lake.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Congratulations again, Dalton.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Well done.
All right. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you in the next episode.